As a British academic, can I ask you what you think the impact of Brexit will be on the UK? We've heard Theresa May and others say that they will cut corporation tax to remain competitive. Is this what's going to happen, and is this the right way forward?
Brexit is an outright disaster for the UK, in my opinion. Let's not beat around the bush. It is a self-imposed destruction of value. It's bad for UK academics like me. We're being denied access to grants. It's bad for our economy because we're being denied access to markets. We are being forced onto the fringes, whereas we have been in the centre. When it comes to tax, what is the consequence? Well, until the general election, I feared that there would be a plan to turn us into tax haven UK. I have to admit, I don't think anyone now believes that's going to happen, because I don't believe Theresa May has got any authority to do it and wouldn't get it through Parliament. So the election, in some ways, was great news. It has actually closed off that opportunity. All she can do is carry on as before and hope to come up with some deal with Europe. But some deal with Europe, well, actually is worse than any deal that we have now. Simply being in membership is better than the options that are available by leaving.
Would the UK leaving liberate the EU remainers, or so the EU 27, to do more in the field of tax?
It's a curious fact that the British tax havens, Jersey, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Cayman, British Virgin Islands, keep going, there's loads of them, have been effectively partly regulated by the EU to date, because they are, of course, for EU purposes, UK territories, and therefore EU regulations. For example, the Code of Conduct on Business Taxation has had to apply to them. Therefore, they have had to take part in things like the EU Savings Directive, and therefore did information exchange earlier than many other places. All of those constraints now go. But the interesting point is, of course, the constraint goes from the EU as well. That means that when we're thinking about a tax haven listing from the EU in the future, where there has been enormous reluctance to list member states and their territories, well, these places are now right up there, capable of being listed with sanctions applied. And I say, bring it on.